Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to learn about the databases, how the MongoDB database is work. We don't talk about the no SQL databases. We talk about no SQL database in this session. So let's start the video. So basically databases are the organized collection of data that are structured to enable efficient storage. Okay. So like earlier we can see that in front end and backend. In the backend, we store data in the array format or other format. But what happens if the server crashes, no matter how and why the server will crash, like, but data will also dies there and release it. So we need the databases basically to store our data efficiently, no matter what happened to our server. If server crashes, no matter what happens, but our data will be stored efficiently. Nothing will happen to our databases. So as you can see with the example, in this, like no matter what the code is here, just go to this portion. Here we store users in the array. So basically, if we run the server and if the server crashes, so the whole data will be deleted and we can't create the data again. So that's why we need databases here. So you have to, in this video, you have to learn about like, you have a pretty knowledge of the JavaScript and Node.js, like the Express, Middleware, and JWT tokens. Uh, Nothing more than that you have to get that. So let's start with the MongoDB. So MongoDB databases are basically the database where that is a no SQL database. You don't have to write anything SQL codes to create the table, to filter the table, or to other things. You don't need in MongoDB. Basically, it is so that's why the MongoDB is called no SQL database. Its property is like as further we go, we will write our own SQL databases only, but sometimes the MongoDB will be efficient and sometimes the SQL databases will be efficient. Just it's depends upon how your data will be working, yeah, or how your system will work. We choose the SQL or no SQL databases. So its properties are schema flexibility, as you can see here. Schema flexibility, no matter how's your data are stored, the data format can be changed as you want, and it's also used to scale the product or database also. And we can see here that in TODO applet, let's take the example of the TODO application. User connection, the ID name is there for the user's connection. So we create the TODO connection. So that's different. We don't write the SQL commands to create this ID name is etc. We just I will show how to write the basically the data schema. So we don't write SQL. Let's go to the MongoDB. I will show you how the MongoDB is basically working. Let's go to MongoDB and sign in there. You have to create a fresh account if you haven't created for the MongoDB. Uh, it will just take some time. Yeah, you have to create, if you are new to this, you have to can create a cluster in MongoDB. Basically, we have to create a cluster. Uh, we just give you can take the intent flex of the for a small database, and for study purpose we choose free databases. So you can create anywhere. Let's take, we are going to do application. So we type to do application. You can take any of this region. We take Mumbai region as for now, and you just start to create this data. So basically, you have to take this username and password safely, okay, and you check the connection method. uh, the connection method. So, normal text, compass. Yeah, compass is very important to see how this is working. I have already a compass with me, MongoDB compass. If you don't have, you can just download it from here, and like the compass will come like this way. Keep this down and take this. Yeah, yeah, fine. This is fine. This is fine. Go back. Try this. Yeah. You have to just copy this. Okay. You just use this one to connect the application, and you have to go. Just I will remind you one thing. For the security of like, okay, man, this MongoDB is so hard to type. So, link is now ready to go. Uh, Database and databases. You just try to remember this one. Uh, 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 Yeah, you have to just click on the allow message from anywhere. Or you have to can just type it 0.0.0.0/0 because we have SSL comment anything like anywhere. Okay, perform it. As for now, in future you can just change it this IP address. So pending. Let's go to the VS Code and check how we can write it basically the database code with database folder and we can just have a file to read here. Yeah. So yeah, this finishes. You have your IP address. Go to the cluster. You can just connect it here, or you can just click on add a new connection. Just paste your link here also, and just you can just save and connect to this, and you will see the same thing which I am seeing here. Okay, it's trying to connect. Yeah, it's connected. Let's make it fine. Let's go to the code and see how the MongoDB codes we can write in the SQL. So first, we have to know about how to bring the MongoDB locally. Yeah, we almost more is as it also requires locally. Yeah, sorry. For that, we have to install the Mongoose from npm install. So I have to do that. Yeah, install the packages npm and it file and we go to file. No, 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 no. about right, let's go to this. We will write this further. Const Express. So in this video, basically, you have to know about the Express more and a little bit about the JWT. Not little bit. You have to know about the JWT and Mongoose also and Express. And yeah, not more than that. We'll use this. Okay. Fine. I think it's downloaded. Uh, we have a file like package.json here. We will install npm i mongoose. Uh, if you want, you can just verify from here also. And npm mongoose. You can go to official npm website and you can still check how to install the module. Still npm install modules. So we have done the same thing. And if you want to bring that import that package to your code base, you have to use the const mongoose not required package. So as we have done here also. So basically we need two things. I will tell you why we need these two things. Schema is equals to mongoose dot schema. Yeah. And one more thing, object ID. Object ID is equals to schema. What object ID? Yeah. Now you can why do we need this? Uh, yeah, for example, why we need this? But for now, we need this schema, how the Mongo will be write, how we write these modules in our code base. As we can see that define, we have to define a model to how our model will look like. So we use schema and mongoose here. The const object.id is the same as why we have done because let's see in users table we have a ID which is called object ID. If you create a new admin also, you have a this object ID inbuilt. So that's why we have used object ID here. So here also it's schema, Mongoose schema has given here. And let's create a schema for our users. So const object for call user is equals to new schema is schema. Yeah. So what we use on one clear schema of user. So you need email, anything you can write, your email. The email will be which type? So it will be of string type, comma. What you need next? Password. So you type password. And this type? String type. Interesting. And other than that, you can write name also. There are in here. Will be also of string. And you can write bunch of things what you need in the user schema. And you can just make this much. As for now, you have your user table defined. Now you have to write your const to scheme. Basically, you want to. So we write new schema, and here you will have the title of your to do, how it will be, and it is also of string. And what you get in the description, let's say. And, and done or not, it's our Google, I think so. Yeah, Google. Um, then over user ID. User ID will be to how like whose to be instance we will refer to user ID. So user ID will be of already of user ID, user object ID. And we can see here and this also the user and ID is of object ID. So we can the type of this also. Let's see. Here we have lots of different types of this. So this ID is of object ID, as you can see here. That's why we use object ID. Here name is of string, password is of string. So we have done same thing. Name of string, password of string, email of string, title is of string, description of done is of from boolean. So we use boolean. User ID is of object ID. So we use object ID. Okay. So there we have I will repeat it. We in- import the Mongoose library to decode this. We have done npm I install Mongoose. We get the model from the schema. So schema Mongoose dot schema object ID equals to schema dot object ID. Let's say we have an const user model also. User model is equals to Mongoose dot model. It was of like it was the user comma this one. This user one say forest forest to the model mortgages without model and what you have to this to do comma to do. This means like the this line of code do basically you define a variable user model where you import the model from the modules library and you are saying that go to this user table in your database, go to this user table to your database and give this schema, give this schema, give this schema as your input. So basically we will go to this user and you can see that ID name password is here. So MPC ID name password is here. And similarly, we will create a TODO model available and we told to our code base that go to TODO table, TODO table, you can have anything, any variable, but this match to this one, this folder name, TODOs, and just create this TODO schema in your code base. So as we go to TODO, you can see that ID done, user ID is there. ID done. I not created a title. If you create title, you can create it like this. If you go to this one, and you can just create a data in insert a document there. You can just create title also. Okay, so copyright this title. Then you can add this and will be all medium. So I know we have user ID. We have the user ID already. Description we can write details. What right? Description is all for the region. That's okay. Mm, right. Okay. We can just insert it as an document. Like you can see here also. The user ID will go. And now we have let's see it as we save to and we are done. So basically, we have created a variable user model. We inserted a model from the Mongoose and go to user table in your database and put your user schema. Okay, and just export to what you are doing to you will just you can use this. We have created the different file for database. So we can use this user model and this to do model in our different file to all these model in our databases. Basically, model.export. You can have purpose. Use the model of user model. Product. Using model using model. Creating this line of code means you are creating a key data in key. This is the variable you will use as what for which name you will export your module. There will be of any name. You can write any name, or you can write anything to the table. And what we are telling, this is the key for that. Export this user model, which is of this cost user. Okay. So this is basically one of the data keys. For now, we have written the user model, so we will write the user model. And we just create a different file, let's say script script.js, and we can just import it to our code base, right? Called and what I'll do is right model, comma, uh, to the model, to the model. And if you can require, require from there, no, it is from DB. Yeah, so this line of code is export, go to database file, go to database file, export the user model to the model from there. It is like for the line once user model to the model required, go to database and export this user model to the model. If you have written everything, everything, you have to write similarly out there. Okay, right? Let's save this. Let's save this file. We'll save this code file. For now, we have the user model editor. Yes. So now we are done. So the database code is look like this. Mongoose schema object ID. Const user means how your schema will look like, user password name. How your to-do schema will look like, title description, then user ID. And you will just import these model, go to user and put these schemas there. And we're exporting these modules to other, we can use to other files. So now this is clear, as I said. Yeah, so let's start again. Uh, let's write our script or JavaScript file. So basically, we need the Express library to use to get the data from the server to the database. So basically, we are using Express here. So to bring your Express locally, you have to use this Express command. Const Express is to require, nothing to that library require. Express, uh, Express, const app is equals to Express. Yes, so if you don't know how to bring the Express, you can just go to the from the library, or you can just type NPM Express, go to this box and just use how learn how to install the Express command locally and how to use it. Okay, so here only you have to go to NPM I Express also. Okay, just install for it. Yeah, it's installed. And we need JSON web token, JSON web token also. We will install that also and then I JSON token. And similarly, if you want to know about the JSON web token, JWT You can just go to this other token of that, and you can use this command to install it. And how to use it, it's pretty simple. You can just go to the docs and just use it. And similarly, call JWT because we require the where to yeah. And for JWT, you have to create a secret key also. For JWT secret physical script, you can create any secrets. Let's say I love this and yeah, total. This you don't have to share with anyone because this is a signature. We will use it for signature. We will not share this secret to anyone. And now we can just share it. I will change it. But it's pretty simple. You don't have to share this. But it's this if you get anyone get this secret, anyone can create a token on behalf of you and use your database also. So till now it's clear. And second of all, you have to connect your data Mongoose also. So basically, we will use the command mongoose dot connect and dot connect. You have to just put your URL which you have copied from here earlier, which I don't know where you will get that right from. Right? So you can go and edit configuration to the application and just I don't know. You can just you can get yeah, yeah, I get it. You can just go to the application that this is the database and when you see you have to write your database password. Okay, so you have to replace this and write your password which you have done. I think I have used that inbuilt password. I don't remember, but I have copy pasted this. So just paste this for now. Okay, just paste this correct. Okay, and we will use but still now you have the JWT secret app or some people. Yeah, another simple. Create for boot for your Express server app dot port sign up or sign up will not authenticated. We will not use authentication. So we will not use middleware for this. So we will use just function. Okay. And this will be this and this one will be the function. And so it will not log for now. You know, I am sign Okay. Create a route for post and sign in, and sign in. You don't need an authentication or middleware for signing also, but you will create a token when users sign in. So you don't need a middleware for that. So we will not use that middleware. So same thing. If you are don't aware of what I am writing here, part of sign up sign. Basically, I'm not going deeper to this because I'm teaching database. So I think you are aware of Express, JWT, and other things. But it's simple. You can just think simple. You have to go to sign up root like this local host without the slash sign up. When you go hit this root, sign up root, you will see console of either. If you go to post to sign in, you will see another thing like console dot log I there I am signing. And so similarly, uh, you know. Yeah. We have to make four rows. So basically, this will be post row. Post. Why we use post? Because we will send the name, username, other thing. Like you can see, email, password, and name to the post. And in sign in also, we will use the password and sign in. So that's why we have used this one. And we will use one of the tool where we will put our tool, what we have to write from the front end itself. So we will use app post here only, post, and it will do tools, and yeah, basically I will write function where comma rest and rest and here this latest here. Wait a minute. In tools, basically you have to add a middleware, check whether the user is authenticated or user is signed up or signing or not. So for that check, don't like any user can come and write differently. This is not a good thing. So we use an authentication middleware to go to this function basically here. You have to first go to this authentication. Let's say here, let's, let's say authentication. You can write anyway. If you want to reach this function, basically you have to go to this auth and we will write a function for UTH auth which takes which takes three, right? Comma this, comma next. And I know that what is request and then basically request, response, and next. If you don't know about the middleware, this is little weird and overwhelming for you. But this is how the middleware works. And so this line of code is basically app.post. If you hit the previous endpoint, if you have reached this particular previous endpoint, you don't directly go to the function and print this function thing. You will first go to the authentication. The console will be here and check for this condition. If this is correct, then you will go to test function. So basically, this is how the middleware looks like. And if you want, you can use app.use auth also, but this is not good practice because if I use this, then all of this below that will use the middleware for the authenticator. So this is not a good practice. This is a good practice. And one root you app dot get slash to do endpoint where you need auth forward forward verse left right and auth for lesson 3000. So then now we have write this much of code. We don't write the auth, what is auth, what will auth do, what will sign up do, what will sign into the just written the how our endpoint will look like using the express. Nothing much. We have created the database, how our database will look like, and how our script.js will look like. We will just need an express for these to the JWT to create a program basically and express to use app for express. It's simple thing. And we are just bring this user model pulling on them from the database itself. And we are using connect option to connect to the database to this database. Yeah, right. Till now, this is clear out also. Yeah. So till now, this is clear, I think so. Let's go to the sign up and let's complete this route. So basically, we will need what we have to write here. The sign up will look like email, password, and name. So we will call this email equals to that. We will request the input from the body dot email. Okay, what will user will write in its front end, it will go to the server, and that body part will be come to us and from the email. That will be known as email. Okay, same thing for the password. We have to have dot body dot password, and same for the name. Equals to right dot body dot name. Yeah, these three things are. And now we will create a user model how our database will create, like how our database look like. So we have already defined in our database. We have to just call this user model to our script. So user model dot create create um, email like email because it's a JSON, so we have to write the JSON format. Password, let's write password and name, which is okay. Yeah, yeah. So till now, this will look like this way, and if you will get this, then this dot JSON, you can add unique try catch block here if you want. Like try this one, or you can create if the user is not there, is sign up is not there, is other bunch of things. Like this, I'm not going deeper like this, but I'm just creating the user sign up page. The message will be said in the what you are logged in. Sign up. Okay, okay, fine. After post, basically, we have to do. We are just requesting the email password name from the post, like from the user, and we are just creating this username. We will not go and write this always. We will not go and write this always. No, we will not go to the add data insert document always. So on our behalf, this code will do. We will request a body from email password again. We are creating the email password again, and if this is correctly, then there's the way to our side. So must create here if no user no just send us dot send charge 404. But we are not going deeper into this, so we are not using this much. Okay, fine. Our post is completed, so we will go to our dot sign up. No, not sign up. Let's go to into this time. Let's go to this. And same thing we have to write once. Email, we need for sign in, we need email. Email equals to that dot bottom dot email for password is equals to that dot body dot password. Okay, for user equals to user model dot basically we are doing the same thing. Email, requesting the email from the body, password requesting the body from the password. And we are checking that user go to user model and is this email or password is available there. So we are using finally check this. Let's go to user model, find which email and password. So go check for the email and password. Password is password. This one got code base. So the user is available. You will go to user model, go to this user model database, go to this user model. Okay, and check for the email and password which the user has defined. If you if this user like you get the user this console, you check user, yeah, if this user is present, then we will give the token to that user. The token is like pass to user for if you have that token. So if you go to do root or to do root, you will just show your token to that server and the server will say, oh, it's in, get in. If you don't have that token, the server will say you don't have the permission to go to this route or this route. Okay, right? This is our we have to do this one. So basically we have to use if server, if user is there, so create a token for that user. For that, I think if you don't know how to use token, you can just go to this and read about this. And other than that, I can't say how to. I will just try to make a video for the JWT also as soon as possible. But for now, we have to just see and how this is going. Okay, we have to sign basically and sign which we have to sign the username. Here we are signing ID because ID is a specific thing the user will get. So user dot ID because ID in Mongo is C. This is a specific ID the user will get. This is different. This is different. So ID is the different thing. User username can be same. ID is not cannot be same. So we are signing user ID basically. Okay, and signing with what? Signing with our JWT secret. Basically, JWT, this secret is act as a pen. You use this signature, this pen to sign this token, this user ID. Okay. Yeah. This is sorry. Yeah. Okay. And if the user is there, then you just uh, res dot json enter token is token. Yeah, fine. And now everything is clear. Or if this is not correct, then um, let's just do what? Rest dot status 403 dot json send invalid credentials. Basically, we are taking the email password from our body. We are putting that email and password to the user model. We are checking that this email or password is present in our database or not. If present, create a token for the user ID. Create a token for the user with user ID this anything else with the help of JWT secret and send that token to the user. That this is the token. If you don't have that token, then you will get a response from the server that this is 403 invalid credential. So this much, I think it's simple. If you are not aware of how the JWT will work, you have to wait or you can just go to the docs and repeating. I can't explain whole JWT right now. You can just go to the JWT and check how this is working. Okay, and wait. I have one thing to tell you all. Basically, we are getting to database. So these functions are basically asynchronous. Right? This is like basically if you will, if you are requesting your email password again every time from the database, so the whole point will be if you don't get a email password again, like if let's say if this connect not work, then this request will be hung. So we need the asynchronous function of this function of sign up so that it will not hold value of this test.json until he will not get that body password and name. So basically this is asynchronous, and if you are not aware of asynchronous, you have to learn about the asynchronous. Earlier I can't do anything. You have to know about these are the prerequisites of this video basically. The Express, Mongoose, MongoDB I'm not teaching right now. So Express, asynchronous promises in JavaScript, and JWT, and other than that, nothing. And yeah, fine. These three things you have to know. And we have to create the user things. So yeah, yeah. Okay. We set this wait until we don't get these things, and so we use await here, and for that if we use await we use the function as asynchronous function. And similarly we are doing the same thing for the sign also. If we have to use is we and update here false user not more than await. So let's I can say here. So, yeah. So let's write our authentication part, like how it looks like basically. Okay. Mm, so here what authentication will do? Authentication will do like if you have the token with you, just show that token. I will verify, the server will verify, and if it is correct, then just go to this function. Go to this function. If you don't have a token, we will just say invalid credential or invalid you don't have token, valid token. So this function will basically check whether you have a token or not. So we will just create a const token is equals to required request from where we get the token. We get the token from the header. So you will like headers and the variable will be token. I will show you something. Alright, it will be more clear for who know about these things, like header. Yeah, like if you like hit with any root, not only the local root, any web browser, these headers go with like these header also go, and the server check these headers according to that. Okay. So if we request this to here, if we send it, the server will check. The key is token, so that's why we use token. If your key is ADIT other, you have to write ADIT other. Similarly, this we want this one token, and this is your token. So we will just send our token, which we have created here, which we have created here, okay, via JWT, and we will send this token, and we will check whether this token is valid or not. We are signed in with this secret or not. If you have not signed in with this secret, you will not go to the to-dos group. You will say, please create or sign up. Okay. So basically, in every web browser, if you fill your all the headers, basically I can give you wait a minute, I will show you. Every time you go to network, no, let's see. if you click these headers, these seven headers, response header and request headers also go and check via your server. That's why we use that header, like how token will go. So basically, if this is like this, we call decoded info is equals to JWT dot verify. Why is verify? Because we are verifying that is the token is valid or not. So we are using token and via sign in which signature JWT secret, which we have already written over here. So we are telling to the browser that I have this token. Check the signature with this JWT secret, which we have here. If the user is if decoded information is correct, request dot user user ID is equals to decoded info dot ID. Means if you have this decoded info, like if you have verified this decoded information, then just give the user ID which is present here. That this user is having this ID and he is only checking it. So let's look at the next. Go to the function. If not, then else rest dot status 403 JSON right? So our process look like this. We have requesting a header from the browser. Definitely, we will verify that token with our JWT secret. If the decoded information is correct, then we will just give the user ID to the function. If not, it will get invalid. Okay, now it is clear, I think so. We can just we are not using asynchronous here, or this is we are not getting to the database. We do this just checking, so we don't use asynchronous function here. And next, we have to create a this is simple item. So we have to use a simple. Just we have to create a to do called to do model or find user ID which we are requesting from the user ID. Uh, if yes, then fine. If no, then s.json is equals to tools tool. Right. This means that if the basically this function is awaited, so asynchronous, this is asynchronous function because this will also hit on check. If you don't have this file, then it will be hung. So we use await and asynchronous. I will not go much deeper to this. We have to learn about the asynchronous and await. These are prerequisites of SQL. So we create a to-do const and request a user ID from them. And if you have a if you are authenticated, then you have a user ID, obviously, and just print that user ID to do of that user. Okay. And similarly, you have to create this function also is is request title from the user, title dot body dot title, and this to the model, go to the to do model, easily uh, a to do with. same time and user ID. So similarly, same thing we will do. Title, comma, time will be called and user ID and then the user ID. Okay. Right of user ID. We are asking these things from the body, and if we will get, then rest our JSON, just message to be created success. Yeah, so sorry. And this is asynchronous, so this will await. Yeah. If you don't know about the asynchronous await, just wait for a while and just go to this asynchronous await. You will know how this is working. Okay. So just do one thing, calls title equals to body dot like request a title from the body. And if if you have that title, just go to the to-do model, create a title, done, user ID will be created by the token only. So you just create title and then you can write description also. We are not going to, let's say description also like this description uh, description of this type. We have this, we have two for, we have this one, and yeah, we are good to go. Yeah, one more thing is this recording is working on yeah, fine. One more thing, if you are just requesting a body, you have to you have to convert these bodies to a JSON because these are the JSON format. So we are not parsing. You can just use the parse.json also, parse.json also, but we are not using this because we have to do much every time. So that express JSON middle pattern not aware of this express not that so this might work uh, switch is the code. Let's go and check the are we good to go or not. Mm, purchase. Right. This will post to be equals to and sign up first and first body to to get this body person added dot com password is this and you need our name also name as and the uh, why this happens because it is not a function. It is not a function. Why this is not a function? Mm, this fine. This Mhm.
Okay. We are not bring the Mongoose here. We have created this best. What is it? 3, 2, 6, 3, 2, 6, 3, script. This is fine. Yeah, you're signed up successfully. Let's check on anything. This is so this much is clear. You are signed up. If you sign in as IGN, you get this long token back. If you sign, you get a long token. And yes, let me show one more thing. If we go to we have done to our purpose, you can see that this object ID is created, and this is the email, this is the password, and this is the name. So if we go to to-dos of this, basically, if you go to this one, we have to send this token to this main token, and we have to create a title. Let me copy this one, let's say this title, 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 we are to description, user ID is user ID, and done as false. False. So this is correct. And yeah, good to go. Invalid credentials. Okay. Invalid credentials. Fine. Invalid credentials. Conversations. And ethics. String. We have to. Let's see. Stop this. We have to sign up. Yeah. Oh my god. Sorry. You just need you don't need this long. This is pros, this is as to do. Yes. To do's is to do's are like there are no to do's here. So we have to create a to do. For that we have to get this, this is the get, this is to do, and send this header, send this description is not different. Description At the time of signing, we have at the time of in database we have not written the description. We have written we are not using the description. Let's say this description. Send this. Okay, file choose this. Like you can see, our server is basically always hung, but we are not always change this server. So basically, we are sending like to is created, go to is created, and when we go to this, here we can see. Mm, this, and we have created successfully. I think so. To use and post details. But we can see the tools here, the ID of different IDs. So finally, we can see in our database also that the different user is here and refresh and yeah, you can see it here. G, fine. Just this. Is good. Is good. Send to created. Tools. Post. Check it. Yeah, you have get. You're getting this. If you stop yourself, let's say if we have stopped ourselves, generally we have to create the to-do again. If you don't have the database, you have to create the to-dos again and again. But now you don't have to create again and again. If you just hit the to-dos again, you will get these much of to-do. So you have seen the magic of the to-do, magic of the databases. You don't have to create the database or the this titles and everything again and again. You have to just you are just seeing your data again and again via Mongoose, via MongoDB. So I think you liked what you have seen here, and you will get all the details and everything to the gym, flight, and everything like that. Or you don't need anything else, basically. So I think as I think it's more than an hour we are coding. So let's stop, and if you have anything, any issues, get in touch with me in my GitHub and just give the code that, or in my LinkedIn also. I'll just put in my title description that how you can connect to me, and just I will love to clear the doubts and everything. I think you love exploration. Yeah. See you. Bye bye. Ta-da. Have a good day. Hello, hello. can see one thing here. We have we have to just disconnect, and you can see that in Postman also we have these much of data. Okay, and if we see our MongoDB, we have the to-dos which we have created here only. So data is basically processed, like the data is not deleted, or we don't have to retry re type the all of the data. We have the data with us, and it's the whole point of this video, or whole point of database. The data server may crashes here without of no reason. If the database credentials are incorrect, if the database connect are incorrect, but you have the data with you every time when you logged in. Basically every time you logged in, you can see here every time you logged in you have your data with you. So this is very cool thing, and this is very great thing to store your data in different places. All of the big companies have your data securely. If the HDFC bank have your, if delete all the data from its database, there is no record of how much money the user have and every little thing. So basically the big companies have the datas all over the world of different places, 5 to 10 places. To secure your data, server may crash, may down sometimes, but your data is preserved in a good place. Thank you for watching my video. I think you loved